Lesson 2. Lesson 2, page 18. Again, the timeline of history. And we have the events that happened, the stories in the Bible we know. And today we look at the year 2000 BC, before Christ came. And the stories we learned are the call of Abraham, when God told Abraham to follow him to a new home, and when God gave Abraham a family, even though Abraham was old, God gave him a son and promised him a great nation. And this became the nation of Israel that came from Abraham. And God also promised Abraham a forever family in heaven for all who believed. And then the story of Joseph, where Joseph's brothers sold him as a slave in Egypt. And they meant this for bad, to hurt Joseph, but God used it for good, to save his brothers and his father and the family. And this is a story of how God saves and makes bad things good for those who follow him. Today in lesson 2, we also do more Psalms. We will continue to practice to memorize Psalm 23 and 1st and 2nd Corinthians. These are more of the letters written by Paul after Jesus went back to heaven to tell the Christians and the other followers how to follow God and what church would be like. So on page 19, you can practice writing Psalm 23 and look for what you remember. And you can start working on the next part of Psalm 23. You can use the video to practice this. And then on page 20, we look at 1st and 2nd Corinthians. And this is a letter written to the church in Corinth. And mostly it teaches about being made right. There's that word again, like righteousness, through repenting. And this means to turn away from sin to follow Jesus. And many people know this part of 1 Corinthians, and we call it the love chapter, 1 Corinthians 13, because it tells us what love is and what love is not. And then in 2 Corinthians, we will see what we are in Jesus Christ. Let's look at 1 Corinthians 13 first here. And we will write the things that we see love is and love is not as we read. It says, love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy, is not boastful, is not conceited, does not act improperly, is not selfish, is not provoked, and does not keep record of wrongs. Love finds no joy in unrighteousness, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. And then 1st and 2nd Corinthians, we can look at 2nd Corinthians 5:17, and this talks about what we are in Christ. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away, and look, new things have come. So in Christ we are new, a new creation.